Charlie O'Hara back with us on this Wednesday morning. Legal Counsel's got some free legal advice if you want to call in. 436-1212. Charlie will answer your question. Good morning, Charlie. Thanks for coming in on this Thanksgiving Eve.
Nice to be here.
Well, we were talking earlier about hostess, and of course there's all this back and forth in and out of bankruptcy court. And Brian and I were wondering, how come they can't just liquidate on their own? Why do they need some kind of intervention?
Well, I mean, if they're going through the bankruptcy process, I mean, I guess you could just try to sell on your own, but usually you owe so many debts that the creditors don't agree, so you have to go to bankruptcy court. And when you go to bankruptcy court, the judge controls what happens. He's in charge, as the judges are in almost every court proceeding. I mean, the judges sometimes approve on settlements, but the judge has the ultimate say of what goes on in a case. So if the judge thinks one side is being unfair to the other, or if the parties got together, they could settle the matter, then he has control of that. And of course, in the hostess situation, we have a lot of people evidently going to lose their jobs, which is huge. And I'm sure that they owe a lot of debt. And so if they take bankruptcy, the people that they owe the debt to won't get paid either. So on both sides, there's probably a lot of people that would like them to stay in business. And so the judge controls whether they do or not.
So the judge is really kind of trying to look out for the best interest of everyone then, and being more fair. Is that kind of their role in a sense?
I think being fair, but make sure that everybody that's owed money or has a job or something like that has a fair shot to try to get that. I mean, that's what the judge is there for. If you just let, I mean, there's lawyers involved probably on every side trying to get this worked out, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that are owed money too, and there's a lot of people that have jobs, and they all have contracts and different things like that, so they all want their interest paid.
Okay, and of course we'll continue to update you on that story after they go back to court at 10 o'clock this morning. Thanks, okay. Charlie. And we have time now for a caller this morning. Hi there, what's your question for Charlie?
I have a friend who was married and she had a business under her name. When they got divorced, the judge gave him her business. In the process, he never paid for the business expenses, Social Security, wages, so forth, etc. Now the state's coming back on her to pay it, and it isn't her business anymore.
Well, again, I guess the answer is almost the same as what I just said before. The judge is in control of everything. Once the judge says the wife doesn't own the business and the husband owns it, then the wife should not have to pay for anything unless there's some other contracts around there. There can be exceptions to that. But if the judge ordered the husband to pay, he's the first one that's supposed to pay. Now, if he doesn't pay and she's still got some kind of an interest in there, or some kind of a contract or some kind of an obligation, she could still be hooked for it. But normally, if the judge orders it goes to one person, everybody follows what the judge says.
Okay, thanks, Charlie. Good luck with that. Thanks for calling in. We have time now for another caller this morning. Hi there, what's your question for Charlie?
Yes, I was curious. I have an adult child, and he was in a car with two other guys. He was a passenger. They pulled him over. They patted him down, told the two passengers they could go. The driver had suspended license. After they were gone, they searched the car, and they found drugs. Okay, 3 weeks later, they gave my son a ticket. And I was just kind of curious, because I know there's more than one person in the backseat. Is that legal?
Well, what the law says is if you help do a crime, you assist in doing a crime, you're involved in doing a crime some way, you're responsible even if you're not the person that did it. Now, obviously, on drug possession or possession of anything, there's all kinds of different laws in there, but if it's in the car and you have knowledge of it or you help put it in there, then you'd be responsible. If it's in the car and you don't have any knowledge of it and don't know it's there, you're not responsible. I don't know all the details of why the police did that. They must have had some evidence that indicated the one child, the one young man, had possession of it, and evidently the others didn't. And they can wait 3 weeks to figure that out. In fact, they can wait 5 years to figure that out. That's the statute of limitations. So the fact that they waited doesn't mean anything. But most people don't realize if you assist, even you drive somebody somewhere and they commit a crime, you're responsible for what they do, even if you don't go in the bank. And I mean, if they went to a bank and robbed a bank and killed somebody and you sat out in the car, you'd be guilty of murder. So helping can get you in a lot of trouble.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. Yeah, I think a lot of people think if it's not done right there at that time, then how can they go back and ticket you later? But clearly, there's an answer to that.
That's right.
Okay, thanks, Charlie, and happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for calling in today. We appreciate it. Charlie will be back next week if you didn't get on the line.